Take a picture.
Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. Go ahead, kid.
Go ahead, where you
I ain't doing the video. No, you're gonna be mad.
Do the video.
No.
Please hurry. Oh, you already doing the video.
Anyway, it's mad hard trying to do a video with a toddler in the room. He's gotta ask the same question 11 times. Y'all with kids, even older kids, y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna get ready. This morning's tunes brought to you by my husband. Got some country rap going. I ain't gonna lie, it's a vibe. But we gotta get ready because now it's crunch time. We've been up all this whole time eating Krispy Kreme donuts, kind of chilling, talking, whatever. So we finna get ready to go. Yeah. All right, running late, time to go.
Okay.
Hey, so I'm walking back to the park. Boston's was great. It's a good place to let your kids play, do this and that, burn off some steam. And walking back there to meet my friend and my husband to the park. Had to drop the other two kids off at home. They weren't feeling it. So it's a pretty simple park. I'm gonna show you guys. But anyway, one of the things that I like the most about living here is the amount of restaurants that have like the nanny services, or people in a playroom to watch your kids so that you guys can enjoy the meal, because sometimes while waiting for food, kids can become very impatient. So it's super convenient and something that we all enjoy as a family. It makes dinner time or lunchtime, whenever, a lot easier for us. So anyway, I'm almost at the park. I'll check in. In today's video, I am going to make a long-awaited update. I have some news. We have already moved on from our first house. So currently, you're in house number 2. And also in the video, I want to talk about not only some of the housing options, but the schooling options. What are some of the services that I'm looking for? Like, what kinds of support does my family need? As a lot of you know, we're all pretty neurodivergent here. I have 3 children. One is almost 5. One is 10 and the other is 16, and my husband and we are trying to figure out this life in Mexico. It's taken a minute to even get settled or even begin to feel like we're at home now. So I figured I'd give this update on how the house was, the schooling options, the kinds of help that I need, and what does a typical day look like for us now that we're 3 months into it. We moved here in September of 2022, and so far I can't say we loved it. But first things first, I wanted to talk about why we moved. Okay, so as you know, we live in the Yucatán. We live in Merida, Yucatán, Mexico, which is on the southernmost tip of Mexico, just across the Gulf from the United States. And anyway, if you are, this area is like a melting pot, but if you are a foreigner, meaning if you're sometimes even Mexican, because the indigenous people are Yucatecans, and sometimes you can get like a gringo price. you know, especially if, you know, when people realize you're from the United States. So what the gringo price is, obviously a higher price, because a lot of people know one of our dollars equal about 18 or 19 for one Mexican peso. So people automatically assume like you got it. So that also includes renting for your first time here. So we were paying an egregious amount for a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath house. Had rooftop access, had a palm tree. It was a very modern home, and it included a pool, which many of you know, like if you know me personally, I'm not crazy about having a pool. I have children, and I just didn't want the liability of something possibly happening, because my kids are not strong swimmers, like only the 16-year-old is. So I just didn't want that added responsibility. Also, we live in the city called Concao. It's smaller, away from Merida, probably maybe about 10-15 minutes outside of the main highway. And of course we love it out here, but always make sure you're shopping around, finding a good deal, because we are paying much less rent now, and we actually have a house that suits us. It's 4 bedrooms, still 2.5 baths, and this house generally feels like a home. The first house really felt like a castle, and this is a more traditional home feel. So we're all much more comfortable here, and this community is amazing. I have within walking distance, you know, my pharmacy, my OXXO, lavanderia. There's even a coffee shop, like I'm talking not even 2 blocks away. So that is really awesome to have. And just like I've been dealing with a lot of back pain. I have muscular problems because of the spinal surgery that I've had. So when I'm having a pain flare up, I can just stop at the pharmacy and get whatever medications that I need. And I did that yesterday, actually. So also I did post, I believe in my one of my other videos I link here, about my home health visit, because that is one of the things that I love here in Mexico, is the accessibility of healthcare. And that includes going into the pharmacy and ordering medications, or just having a doctor come by, or just do a video chat. So quality of life here, I honestly have to say, is amazing. So I really like it in this neighborhood a lot better. But yeah, always be careful with getting the gringo price. Like, that's something I feel like a lot of expats have to learn. You know, you just get out here, you're trying to take care of things yourself, trying to hurry up and find your family a house, and sometimes you don't do all the appropriate research. Like, I kind of feel like that's just something like a lot of foreigners have to figure out. And so, excuse me, we were no different. So the next thing is schooling options. A lot of my friends want to know, what am I doing for schooling options for the kids? That's another thing that didn't turn out the way I thought it would. So I thought that when we got here, hey, yeah, we'll just throw the kids in school, whoop, whoop, whoop. I got all their paperwork, because, you know, before we left, we took the time to do things properly so that we can eventually get our temporary residency. But anyway, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna put them in school and just, I guess, some kind of way fall into the life that, you know, I had in the US, something that mimicked that, like get up in the morning, take the kids to school, you know, do the whole breakfast rush, take them to school, this and that, get in the line. And come to find out, that is trying to make my old life fit smack dab in my new life. In that way is one of the reasons why I thought that I can just throw them into school. I was aware that many schools were teaching English. However, that was not a representation of most schools. So with that being said, the two major options you have here are a learning pod, which is somewhere where you would, I almost dropped my phone. Somewhere you would send your kids, they're like from the ages of maybe 3 to 10, some kind of learning pod where they meet on certain days of weeks, and sometimes they'll do like math one day, science the next, whatever, what else. Of course, that would require you to do some kind of home supplemental study. And it is usually something that is very small and just a few students. And the hours are generally shorter, so you kind of would need some kind of flexibility or some real way to get there, which we put Cairo in, a learning pod, or you have the private school option. And a lot of those are bilingual. They're scattered about in the city. Like I said, I live in a smaller town just outside of Merida. So there's even a couple here that some of the expats go to. And I did look into some of those. However, when you consider, now this is just a decision that I made. And let me just tell you, in public school, it is simply just not an option, especially when your children do not know the language like my children. As I was saying, public school typically isn't an option because if your kids are like mine, they're still learning the language, and that can also play a part in a huge safety issue for me because, if you're unable to communicate, then, that just leaves a lot of room for things to go wrong. And I was worried that it could also make them feel isolated. So that rolls me into one thing that I decided to do. So like I said, I decided to put Cairo in the pod. I was like, wait, that is not a good idea. That is not something that fits me. And so as I'm talking about, the next thing is what kind of help I'm looking for. That is someone to help maintain the cleanliness of my home and a nanny for my children. Because once I added everything up, the transportation costs, the fees for schooling, and the registration fees, it just didn't really make sense that I would try to squeeze that out of my own self. Like, I felt like I could put that same amount of fees towards a nanny and travel experience, because how many times do you get to do this? How many times do you get to experience living in another country, at such an early age for my children, and just do something like this as a family, like my husband and I. So just really take advantage of the traveling and going to school like a 9 to 3 situation and making my life feel like the life that we had just didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I have been able to find good help for my home. As a matter of fact, she will be coming tomorrow. She comes twice a week to my home to organize and clean, and it really goes a long way in maintaining it ourselves, because like I said, I have this back thing going on, and we need that help. So, and number 2, hiring a nanny for the kids, someone to help us keep them entertained, take them to their learning pods a couple of times a week, and just even on other outings, like maybe with expats or something. There's lots of different things that we could go to, and just someone to help me really just with them. So I feel like that was better, especially while we're wanting to travel, see things, and just really experience Mexico. So that is our 3 months or so of just really living here and figuring it out. This has so far been such a journey. We've learned a lot. We've learned how to shop even for our groceries, where there's local prices, and supporting the businesses that are nearby, all while making it make sense in the budget, having a good quality of food. We're all really so far enjoying learning it. It has had its ups and downs. I'm not even gonna kid you there. So many ups and downs. You really have to be pretty stable in your personality and really have a plan for how you're going to handle things, because even when tensions get high and people are getting impatient, as you're getting impatient and sometimes even frustrated, how you handle things or how you frame things really matters, especially, you know, being here as a family and being able to work through some of the challenges that have arisen since being here. So really wanting to work together and have that tight relationship of, you know, and have hard conversations like, well, what if it doesn't work out? What are we going to do and how are we going to handle things? Because, you know, even then, sometimes you may not have all the answers, but just being cool with it and being trusting that something is going to come through. I think I've talked enough about all of the topics about renting a place, the school system here, the kind of things, the help that I was looking to get once I got here, and what made sense, and the flexibility and how I wanted our lives to look here. So far, I would say we're doing okay. And I'm looking forward to, of course, things getting better. So one of the things is I want to leave you guys with is this. Something that I've been thinking about for the past week or so is just giving myself the permission to just do whatever it is that I want within my business, especially if that means abandoning something. So I feel like this whole move has transformed me as a person, and I just, you know, I feel like now is the time to do the things that I've always wanted to do, even if that means just leaving what I thought was it or right or what have you, and just go full on, take advantage of this time in life and go full on to pursue the things that I really want to pursue. So I'm definitely excited for that era. The reason why I wanted to leave you guys with that thought is maybe that can help you too. So just pursue the things that you really want to pursue. Do the things that you want to do. So as I was saying, I just feel like it's just all coming together. Things are making sense, and just wanted to kind of share some of our experiences, answer some questions, and low-key let you know I'm gonna be doing a lot more lifestyle stuff. So I really hope you'll be rocking with me this whole time, and as I just kind of show you more details, I just can't even find a way to make lifestyle kind of not sound so vain. But anyway, here I am, and that's what's going on. So enjoy the channel from your girl. I'm gonna be updating as much as possible. All right, toodles. Hey fam, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me create more content like this where I show you our life in Mexico. Also, you can find me on Facebook and join my Facebook community for more spiritual related things, Divine Alchemy. Hasta luego.